symmetric, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna fold my pattern in half. Because that's what it makes it symmetrical, right? Okay. I'm glad that we're all on the same page. Okay? Now, I want to see this line on the other side. So I could use a pen and look at it through, or I can use pins. So if I pin it along this line, I'm going to do the panty only. I'll do the top later on. And I'm going to do the leg opening. I do this quite a bit in muslin when I do a custom fit. You know, a body doesn't have the lines like the dress form has, so I don't know on her flesh where exactly. So what I do is I always fold it in half and put the pins like this. And why I do this? Because when I flip it, I will be able to see the line from the other side. Correct? You guys can't see anything. Come over here. Come on. See that my lines are very close to each other, but they're not exactly on it. So what I'm going to do is, see that I have the distance between this and this? I'm going to make a line in the middle. I'm going to average it out. I mean, I have a disease that my lines are usually very close to each other, right? I've been doing this for like 3 seconds. You're gonna find that sometimes it's really, really off from one side and the other. You took in too much on one side and you did it on the other. But you want it to be symmetric. So this is the way to do it. Like here, really good example. See the distance between the two? I'm gonna mark right in the middle. And by the way, I did notice that you rolled your eyes.
We're eaching.
Uh-huh.
Franklin, they got you on watch.
I did get it. I did get that.
They're watching. That's what happened when you give him a bad
Yeah. He completely rolled his eye.
And then he wants to say that you didn't treat him.
So what's the next step?
You are my witness. I'm going to take you to the stand.
Okay.
You're going to be my character witness. She's not paying attention to me. She's paying attention to the phone. So much that she doesn't even know that I'm talking about her. Still. Okay. So once I did that, now I can go back with my ruler and I can clean my line. Cool? So, to cut at the top and the bottom, first thing I need to do is I need to add seam allowance. Because those two lines that I just made did not have a seam allowance. I do have seam allowance here. I do have seam allowance here. I do have seam allowance here, but not here. So I'm gonna add seam allowance, 3/8.
So isn't that the edge where we're gonna put the elastic to?
Right,
And how thin is the elastic?
1/4 inch, like the same as the overlock.
Okay.
That's why you cut 1/8 and you have 1/4 inch left over for your seam. Even if you do it lined, which is not going to show because, oh, I didn't mention what are the 3 methods that we can finish it. We can finish it either with zigzag, with a cover stitch, which I began to tell you, or we can line it and use the overlock machine. It always had to be that type of interlock type of stitching, otherwise it would not stretch. So now that I have my outline, because my outline on my panty of the bathing suit is going to be symmetric, okay, I can go ahead and cut it. There's nothing more symmetric than this.
Yeah. I think those are
No.
all-in-one see-through.
And I can mark the seam if you want to in. Okay? So here is the front of the panty. It looks like a fallopian tube.
That's what I was thinking.
Talking from experience. Anyway, okay. So now I need to separate these two. And that I'm going to do at the 3/8 of an inch.
Because it's
Correct. Correct. So this is going to come here. Okay? Keep in mind that here I need to add 3/8 of an inch,
Yeah.
and here I'm going to need to add 3/8 of an inch.
Right.
Yes?
Yeah.
So be very, very conscious when you're working this, because you're working with a pattern that came in with seam allowance, but now you're making it without seam allowance. Okay? So I will need to add the 3/8 and the 3/8. Okay? So this, I'm gonna cut 2. This one, I'm gonna cut 1, but face down, because it's the lining,
Right. Right.
correct? So keep that in mind. I'm gonna show you what I do. You're gonna do, this is the lining. Right now it's on the south side. So if you're gonna do the lining, you need to cut it like this,
Right.
right? Correct? So, and don't forget to maintain your grain line. That's why I'm so intense about following the numbers, because I don't remember where the grain line was. I have it on the numbers,
Right.
right? So you're gonna copy one of these facing down, okay? So this is the right side for this piece, okay? This will be the wrong side of this piece,
Okay.
okay? If I want to do the pleats, up to the 3/8, not all the way across. Okay? And then I'm going to do this. If I want it to be gathers, or if I want to be a pleat, then I would either close the pleat or I blend it in.
So for gathers alone,
Your brothers, you're not going to be making a bridge connecting them. You're actually going to blend it in round it.
for the
Because
gathers.
if you do points, it's going to look like you have bulky points. A gathers had to be blended in. So when you blend it in, I would
Right.
kind of average it out to the center of this. So I will be adding a little bit to this cut. I will be cutting off a little bit of this point.
Right.
So I would make my line probably like from here to here, and then I will make my line from here to here. Does that make sense?
Right.
And then that would be gathered into this size. Yes?
Right.
All right. That's basically all.
Great.
And then in the back, we just
Right. So,
So now
in the
for
back,
this, you have to make another pattern.
remove the
yeah, yeah. I should have copied this on the right side before I even cut it.
Yeah.
Right? And this is just for demonstration.
Right.
Now, you don't need to have a seam in the center back. Remember that here we had 1 inch seam allowance.
Right.
Right?
Okay.
Make sure of that.
Uh-huh.
So here, I will connect to, this is the point where the back goes. So I'm gonna blend it in here. See that? Pretty? Okay. Now, if you wanna have a center back seam, be my guest. If you wanna have a full back, make sure you fold your pattern, your paper, and you place the fold of the paper not on the edge of the cut, but on the seam line, right? You copy it all, and when you open it, you have a full back and a full front. I think that one of you guys have gathers right here on the tush, right? You do need to keep that seam, and you will do the slash and spread, just like I showed you on the front. So that way, when you put it on, it would do this little cute button, right? Very sexy.
Super cute.
What I would do is I would record on your pattern how much this needs to measure. That way you don't gather it too much or too little. Also, you don't want to gather in between your legs. It will be uncomfortable. You want to gather it here in the back. So probably you will do a notch from where to where the gathers go. Because you're going to slash and spread it from here, not from here.
Right.
Right? So you do a notch where you start slashing it. So that way you can customize or engineer where you want the gathers to be and not just randomly place them everywhere. Almost like when the jacket we had the elbow ease, right? We did the notch to notch, and then the other piece was a little bit bigger from notch to notch, and we make that ease only on those two notches. Same concept.
I've also seen though, like for backs with gathers, that it can be one piece, but they put elastic in the middle.
It's not gonna work on this one.
Okay.
Because you will have to make your pattern bigger to then when you gather it, it comes down.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Slash and spread will not work with that. Because if you slash and spread it, this is gonna open up round, and you can have that big piece when you have a center back rounded. Does that make sense? Yes, they are that way. They usually are, let's say for example, you have a blouse, right? And you have two breasts right here. And you have almost like I call it a bridge, that it connects one breast to the other. If you gather it, it actually will make it close to her chest, right? It's like making a dart right in the middle. Instead of making it into a dart, you make it into gathers.
So
Does that make sense?
So
Yeah.
for the
So if
gathering
you have-
here, there's
if
no
you-
round.
Let's say if you have two big, really firm, round hemisphere glutes, right? And then you gather it in the middle, then it's going to contour the butt. I can go through my phone. I can show you a really bad picture I took on Starbucks. One girl.
Okay,
That she
you
had
you
that
have
exact
to.
same thing.
So it's gonna be a straight line here then? It's gonna be a straight.
No, what I'm saying is if you want to have a full back, right? You can put the paper folded on that seam and copy it. So when you cut the paper and you open it, we'll have a full back, unless you want to keep the seam in the back.
Understand, but if you're gonna do that
The
gathering,
gathers is not going to be as
straight.
straight. It's going to be curved
Okay.
to create those gathers.
Okay.
Because that's where you slash and spread. Does that make sense? Okay, good. That's it.
all right.
Let's Rihanna.